Welcome to the Path to Better A1C. I am your host, Jenny Pena, a National Board Certified Health Coach and a Diabetes Prevention Program Lifestyle Coach. If you're here, you're ready to take charge of your health, lower that A1C, reverse prediabetes, and I am here to guide you every step of the way. Today, we're tackling an important and often overwhelming moment: being diagnosed with prediabetes. First, let me say, you're not alone. This is not the end of the road, and in fact, it's an opportunity for you to make changes that will transform your life forever. In this episode, I am going to share 5 areas, easy steps to help you move from feeling overwhelmed with the diagnosis, with the amount of information and advice that you probably are getting, to feeling empowered and having a very clear path as to what to do to reverse prediabetes and have a very full and fulfilling life. Now, grab a cup of coffee, juice, tea, beverage of preference, get comfy, and let's dive in. Now, the first thing that I tell my clients, because they're coming overwhelmed about not knowing what to eat, what to drink, can I go out on restaurants? Should I exercise? Should I do this? There's so much information and so many things that they're concerned about. So the first thing that I'm going to tell you is take a deep breath. It's easy to panic when you hear the word prediabetes, but it is important to remember that prediabetes is reversible. This diagnosis is not a life sentence. How I like to call it is a yellow flag. It's a warning sign. It's a wake-up call. Now, some people may say, what is really prediabetes? It means that your blood sugar levels are higher than normal, but not yet high enough to be diagnosed as type 2 diabetes. This often happens when your body becomes less effective as using insulin and your blood regulation and the levels are not as efficient, and that actually leads to an elevated A1C level. A1C is a blood test. It's a very simple blood test that actually shows and measures the average blood sugar over the past 3 months. Now, people often develop elevated A1C levels due to different things. It could be that maybe you have a few extra pounds, you're overweight, having a sedentary lifestyle, right? Like a lot of people that have desk jobs, right? And now that most of us are working from home often, that kind of creates a little bit less of a movement. Poor dietary choices, right? Like not having a balanced plate, not eating a lot of foods that are not processed. Genetics, like there's certain people that there's a genetic component and there's even an ethnic group component that actually would make it higher in terms of risk for you developing diabetes, and also high stress, right? So that's why the first step that I just mentioned is calm down, take a few breaths, know that there are things that you can do to actually reverse this. Now, take a moment to educate yourself about prediabetes. I just gave you a quick summary, but try to understand what actually happens in your body. And I rarely tell this to my clients, but yes, you can go to Google and be like, give me a simple description as to what happens with my body if I am a pre-diabetic, right? Because at the end, knowledge is power. But make sure you use reputable sources, right? The CDC, the American Diabetes Association. Discuss it with a health coach that is a diabetes prevention program lifestyle coach. When I have that certification, when someone has that certification, they went through a training and they went through the curriculum by the CDC and they're actually certified to facilitate that program. So try to find your source of information from reputable sources. Now, the next step, right? You already know what prediabetes is. You've taken a couple of breaths. You're calm. The second step that I would say is start with small, realistic changes. Now it's time to take action. And here's the good news. You don't need to change your entire lifestyle, healthy habits overnight. My suggestion, and this is what I do with my clients, instead, focus on key areas of health that are most effective in preventing diabetes. And I'm going to go through them. There are 5 areas. Maybe you have heard 5 pillars, right? One is nutrition. So your choices in terms of food, they may need to change a bit. Physical activity. You may need to move a bit more to support that weight management and that insulin sensitivity that actually provoke that A1C spike. Weight management, the CDC National Program for Diabetes Prevention, one of the key goals is actually to lose, even if it is just 5% of your current body weight. That alone makes a huge impact. Stress management, reducing your stress levels. And I mentioned that, I believe, on episode 1, how the hormones create, like, they have that imbalance when you're stressed, right? The cortisol levels, all these things impact your blood sugars. And the sleep quality. Sleep is directly tied to insulin resistance. So ensuring that you get enough restful sleep is extremely important. It helps your body recovery. It helps balance your blood sugar levels. Now, I know that I threw 5 different areas, and now you may be thinking, do I have to do all these 5? And the answer is no. You don't have to jump at it all together. You should work your way up to that. But start with one area, one realistic change, something that you feel that you can actually do. Start small. I almost tell my clients to pick something that is so ridiculously small that there is no way you cannot do it. When there is some sort of hesitation, that's kind of like where I go. And it could be something as simple as, I'm going to add 1 serving of vegetables to 1 meal every day. Something as simple as that. Maybe you're going to swap your drinks. If you drink a lot of soda, if you drink a lot of juices, maybe you're going to say, well, at least for 1 meal, I typically have this soda. I'm going to drink water, or I'm going to drink unsweetened iced tea instead. Let's say you want to take a 10-minute walk after lunch for a few days a week. It could be something as that. So you ready? Step 1, take a deep breath and learn a little bit about prediabetes and what is really happening in a science way in your body. Second, you already know the 5 categories intuitively. I always tell my clients to kind of reflect intuitively. You know which area probably you need to start first, and start with that. And then assess, can I actually implement this? What could be something realistic? And episode 2, I spoke a lot about having a SMART goal, right? Not saying I just need to exercise more, but be very specific as to, I am going to walk for 10 minutes, X amount of days at this time, so that they can be measurable. And you can actually assess if you can actually do it, right? So the key is just to focus on manageable steps. That's how you create progress and create sustainable change. Now, step 3, again, I mentioned it already, kind of. Be clear about your goals. Make sure they're realistic. Make sure they're actionable. Write them down. Put it in a Post-it note. Put it on your fridge in a place that you can see them, and a way of you to writing them down and commit to it. Commit to it for 1 week, see how things go, and then later you reassess. If you didn't do what you were set to do, assess as to what were the challenges and what can you tweak or change to make it happen. And again, if you're not sure how to set these goals, go back and listen to episode 2. I broke it down and I actually gave examples for each category that we just mentioned. So go back to episode 2 if you haven't listened. And there I explained a lot about SMART goals, how they're specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound. And again, I already mentioned an example. Instead of saying, I'm going to start exercising, be very specific. I will walk for 20 minutes after dinner 3 times this week. Having those clear goals will help you stay on track and actually will help you celebrate, because you need to keep yourself motivated. So when you set a goal and you see that you have accomplished it and you start experiencing the changes in your energy levels, in your flexibility, you're going to feel so much better. That actually fuels that motivation. Now, step 4, very important. Not everybody has access to this. And if you do, you're lucky, you're blessed. Build a support system. You don't have to do this alone. You need to find a support system that works for you. And it could look different for everyone. It really depends on you. A great place to start is actually a health coach, someone like me that can guide you, right? Keep you accountable, personalized strategies for your journey. It's great to have somebody to actually reflect back and observe and shed light into areas that maybe are blind spots for you, that you cannot even see yourself. That is the beauty of health coaching. Now, you can connect to others who are going through the same experience as well. There's some Instagram accounts. I have my own Instagram account and I share a lot of information there, but there are Instagram accounts that cover different things. There are Facebook groups, and maybe you can join that focus on prediabetes or diabetes prevention, and people share a lot of information. Now, again, make sure that you filter that information and make sure that it is accurate, right? Because we know that there's a lot of things out there and not everything is accurate. So make sure you rely on reputable information. Again, the CDC website has a lot of information. The American Diabetes Association has a lot of information, not just for prediabetes, but type 1 diabetes, type 2 diabetes, a lot of information on nutrition. So make sure you get support that way. And it does make a difference. And at times, family members may understand and support you. Others may not understand, but try to find that group or that way that you can feel supported and that you can actually share your experience and with other people, and it will resonate. Now, step 5, one of the most important things, and that's what's going to keep you going, is you celebrate your progress, not your perfection. This is a journey, not a sprint. You didn't get to prediabetes overnight, I assure you. It was a journey. And I'm going to give you one example that happened with one of my clients. We had set up a goal for exercise. I cannot remember exactly how many times, but she committed to exercise, I believe it was 4 days a week for a specific amount of time. When we had our coaching session follow up and we talked about, okay, how did the week went? How did your goal go? Any challenges? And she was very discouraged because she said, I didn't do the goal that I set up myself for. I feel like such a failure, and I only made it to the gym 3 times this week. And I reflected back to her and I said, it sounds like you made it to the gym 3 times, which is an amazing progress from the week before where you were not exercising at all. So you see how reframing that and using a different choice of words does to your motivation? She was completely crushed. She was not even seeing the amazing progress that is to go from not doing any exercise to actually going to the gym 3 times, even if it was less than what she set herself up for. Eventually, we talked about, okay, is this attainable? What happened? Is it a motivator? We kind of go through that through coaching sessions. But this is so important for you to see and acknowledge, even if it is something tiny that you feel, oh, this is insignificant. No change, no positive change is insignificant, right? So celebrate those small victories, whether it's choosing a healthier snack. Sometimes that could be like that one step that you start. If you know you always snack with something that may not be the best for your blood sugar levels and you swap that for something else, that alone makes progress. Walking an extra block, getting off the train station a stop away from when you're supposed to get off so you can add some walking. I had some clients that will purposely park far away so they can walk more. Even listening to this podcast, it is progress. You're getting tips, you're getting encouragement. So progress is not necessarily about being present, but more about showing up every day for yourself and knowing that even if you think it's a tiny change, such as I am not going to drink that soda with my lunch, but I am going to swap it for water and I'm going to put some fruit or some lemon to jazz it up, that alone can create an amazing change over time. So there you have it, 5 easy steps to take control after a prediabetes diagnosis. Step 1, stay calm and informed. Take a deep breath and remember that prediabetes is reversible. Learn what it means, why it happens, and how you can make changes to improve your health. Start with small, realistic changes. That's step 2. Focus on key areas like improving your diet or adding more physical activity, ways to manage your stress, getting better sleep. Small steps like walking after meals, swapping sugary drinks for water, they can make a huge difference. So I challenge you, pick one area and pick one goal for this week and start making positive progress. Now, step 3, set clear, actionable goals. Write them down. Make sure they're specific. Make sure they're achievable, that you can actually do it, and that are tailored to your lifestyle. For example, walk 20 minutes 3 times a week, or cook dinner at home twice a week. Remember to listen to episode 2 for SMART goals and how to create them. I went through that in detail. Now, step 4, build a support system. Seek support from a health coach, from a friend, from a family member. Connect to supportive communities online, and make sure you use trusted sources like the CDC or the American Diabetes Association for guidance. And last, step 5, but not least and not less important, celebrate progress, not perfection. Recognize that every small victory is worth celebrating, and stay consistent. It's about showing up for yourself every single day. Each of these steps is designed to help you move forward without feeling overwhelmed. I hope this episode has given you a bit of clarity and confidence that you can start this journey. You have the power to make meaningful changes, and I am here to support you every step of the way. So if you found this episode helpful, please subscribe to the podcast, share with someone who might benefit from it. You can also visit my website, www.jennypena.com. That's JENNYPENA.com for more tips, resources, and updates. You can follow me on Instagram. It's Coach Jen P. And thank you so much for listening to the Path to Better A1C. Until the next time, stay fearless, stay motivated, and take care of yourself.